WBUZ HD4 Boulevard, Nashville. Live from the beautifully remodeled Eurostone Studios, we are Totally Hits 93.3, playing the greatest hits of the 80s and 90s. Totally Hits 93.3. We are Totally Nashville.
We're talking Blue Raider football, live from the Boulevard Bar and Grill. It's Derek Mason Live. 1 hour of football conversation featuring the head coach of the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders. Be part of the show by dropping us your questions or comments to blueraidernet@gmail.com. Tonight's show is presented by Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics. Bud Light, it's for the fans. Now, with Coach Derek Mason, here's the voice of the Blue Raiders, Chip Walters.
Clear.
Welcome in to the Boulevard tonight on this Monday, week 3 of college football. Derek Mason Live coming to you from the Boulevard, just across from campus, our favorite sports bar and grill in Murfreesboro. So be sure and stop by today. Coach Derek Mason making his way into the building here on this Monday night as the Blue Raiders get ready to take on the Wolfpack of Nevada this Saturday at 4 o'clock Central Time, as the Blue Raiders will make the trip to the Pacific time zone and to take on, it will be one of 4 time zones the Blue Raiders will play in this year. Obviously the Central time zone, we have played 2 games there. We'll play in the Eastern, we'll play in the Mountain time zone the last game of the regular season, and we'll be in the Pacific time zone this year. Only Stanford will play in more time zones than the Blue Raiders. They will play in 5 because they played at Hawaii already this year. But Coach Derek Mason is here as the Raiders coming off the game at Wisconsin. Coach, how are you today?
Good. Right back to work. You get a chance to look at the tape, and, talk about adjustments, talk about things that happened in that ball game. A lot of things to learn from. Great start. Now we got to put together a 60-minute ball game, and this group is resilient, right? From week 1 to week 2, man, we saw a performance change. But I think, man, there's just so much left in this group. We got a long way to go, short time to get there, and another road trip this week to get on the road, go to Reno, and these guys, understand what's at stake. Opportunity to go play well.
Certainly is, and play well is something you surely did, in particular in the first half at Wisconsin. And, Coach, it didn't take very long watching you guys on both sides of the ball and say, this is going to be a different week than week number 1, because you guys really came out and played well.
Yeah. You only get so many, opportunities, right? And we talked about, energy. We talked about the idea of contest, how many you get. And the opportunity to go to Wisconsin was a fun one. Showed these guys a lot of stuff all week. Showed the jump around, showed what the stadium was going to be. And I think these guys were up for that challenge. I mean, they walked into it understanding it was going to be a heavyweight fight. We needed to go blow for blow early in that ball game. And really what we wanted to do was take it to the fourth quarter. You needed to get it to the fourth quarter, sort of take that team to deep water a little bit, because the pressure was on them, not us.
Yeah, and, there were a couple of plays. I look at 3 plays in the third quarter,
yep.
1 on offense, a couple on defense, that really turned the tide of that game. Not making the 4th down.
Right.
And then the 2 misdirection plays where they took advantage of your over pursuit.
They did. We talked in that game that we needed to populate to the football. We needed to get Hatch to the football, because it was a physical team that had guys that you needed multiple ball carriers to get to, right, just to get them down. And so with that, a couple of times on the backside, instead of playing at the level of the ball, we found ourselves in pure down-the-line chase mode. And a couple of those misdirection plays, a couple of reverses wind up being big plays. 2 of them back-to-back series where they're able to get our safety, crack our safety, and then put it on open grass. And, they got players on scholarship too. Those players run fast, and we, unfortunately for us, they weren't physical errors. They were more structural errors.
Right.
And those are correctable, which is good. Mm-hmm. Okay, man. But in the moment, you're just like, hey, man, but don't let these guys off the hook.
Yeah. Last week we talked about what were the challenges going to be, and obviously when you play a Big Ten team, one of the challenges is going to be how big and physical they can be on both of their offense and defensive lines. But I thought in particular early on, that was not a mismatch either way. It was the defensive line did a great job of stopping the run in between the tackles,
right.
And the offensive line gave Nick some time.
Well, those had to be 2 critical factors that we talked about last week, mm-hmm. right? Nick needed time early, okay, which gave him a chance to get into a rhythm in that first drive, but also we needed to hit some plays. Okay, man, and we had a couple plays downfield, and that sort of gave us some opportunities in that ball game. But the D-line, man, we talked about building a wall, and you heard Coach Hargraves last week talk about building a wall. Well, we didn't feel like we were outmatched in the interior, okay? We really didn't. We felt like they were big, but we had the leverage advantage. And football is a leverage game, so our guys played big and stout up front early in that ball game, especially in the first half. Heading into the third quarter, we had a good idea and a good beat on what their run game was. And so they had to deviate from their plan of being able to shove it down our throat and really work misdirection and work some of those things against us. They used our own rules against us in terms of fast flow in order to get some explosive plays.
Yeah, and they were sound across the board, both offensively and defensively.
Right.
You go back and you look at the first couple of drives. Number one, on the first time that they had the ball after you had won the toss, they got one first down, a couple of first downs, but you get the ball after a 4th and 10, put together a 12-play, 68-yard drive that ended up with a field goal of 27 yards. Put you in the lead that you held for a long time in the first and into the second quarters. From a confidence standpoint for the offensive unit in particular, after they had not played very well against Austin Peay, to come out, put that together, get a couple of third down conversions along the way, that had to be a pretty good elixir right there.
Well, it got us going, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we thought we would come out and play well, but to come out in Madison, okay, in front of a large crowd and actually move the ball down the field. I thought we had matchups outside. At times we were able to take advantage of those matchups, down the field. And, we made plays, and that, energy begets energy in the game of football, right? And I think that's where it started, with this idea that great momentum to start this thing, but let's go get them. And that's what we talked about. We talked about trying to be on the attack. We didn't want to just sit there and just let them bring football to us. We felt like we needed to attack, and let's take football to them. And it started with that drive. So that drive really set the tone for how the game would go in this first half.
Well, in the next drive, you took it to them again, a 3-and-out, forced a punt.
Right.
Got the ball back at your own 21, got it up to near midfield, had a 2nd and 23, or actually a 3rd and 23, and then there was the grounding call on what was going to be a double pass.
Well, right. It was going to be a double pass, but I thought it was I think the double pass happened earlier in that series. I think we had gotten down, in that area.
You're right.
I think it was on 1st or 2nd down. We felt like we were going to take a shot. That Magic Johnson play that we had drawn up, we felt like there was an opportunity for a big play. We ran the play, obviously. We got called for intentional grounding. I thought it was a smart play by the receiver, and it was upheld in terms of intentional grounding. It is an antiquated rule, so they're going to look this offseason to push that rule out, because the way football is played now, okay, that really just should have been out of a down on to the next down, but instead it was a loss of down.
Talk a little bit about why it is outdated.
Well, it's outdated because football is played a bunch of different ways. I mean, when you talk about the read option, when you talk about zone read, quarterbacks getting it on the perimeter and still being able to throw it.
RPOs.
The RPO game.
Yeah.
So run-pass option for those who don't understand what RPO is. The game has changed. Okay, it's a form of triple option, whether you talk about reverse pass or whether you talk about zone read, RPO bubble. It's still one and the same. So a receiver should be afforded the same opportunities as a quarterback as long as he's in a throwing position.
All right, we're in the early stages of our show tonight. Coach Derek Mason is here. We're going to step aside. Remind you that tonight's show is brought to you in part by the Lee Company. Blue Raider fans, get ahead of the game with the best home and facility services team in town. For your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical and home improvement needs, Lee Company is the team to call. 615-867-1000 or online at leecompany.com. Back after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Hey fans, MTSU head coach Derek Mason here. Ascend Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, and they have a checking account that will help you grow your money smarter than ever before.
A high-yield checking account from Ascend earns an annual percentage yield of 3.56%. Plus, you can show off your Blue Raider spirit with an MTSU-branded debit card. Visit ascend.org to open your account today. Some restrictions apply. Rates are subject to change at any time.
MTSU's College of Education prepares teachers, leaders, counselors, and librarians to be difference makers in schools and communities. Faculty and staff are committed to helping students be the best professionals they can be so they can engage in the very important work of supporting children, families, and adults in Tennessee and beyond. Offering an array of bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degree programs, MTSU's College of Education has a program that's right for you as you strive to become a difference maker in your community.
Roscoe Brown's proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. For over 85 years, Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance are the leading experts in sports medicine and performance, and the team physicians for NFL, college, and high school athletes across Tennessee. TOA offers same-day appointments, walk-ins, and urgent care for acute orthopedic injuries that can't wait. TOA is proud to be the team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics. Having a specialized care team you trust can make all the difference in your athletic journey. To find a TOA location near you, visit TOA.com.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 155,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing, update your information, and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
93.3 FM. Totally hits. Totally Nashville.
Welcome back into the Boulevard on this Monday night as Middle Tennessee gets set to take on Wisconsin, or they got just coming off the Wisconsin game, getting ready to take on the Wolfpack of Nevada. Nevada this past week was a winner at home against Sacramento State. Middle Tennessee, as we mentioned, on the road at Wisconsin. And Coach Derek Mason with us here. And talking about your defense, Derek, the Blue Raiders held that Wisconsin offense to just 22 yards rushing in the first half. And, you know, from your standpoint, probably could not have drawn it up much better than that at halftime.
You couldn't have drawn it up much better. The thing that we talked about was their physicality. They wanted to play bully ball early in this game, and they felt like, they did it versus Miami of Ohio, and Miami of Ohio just sort of, folded to what was happening, right? I mean, they still played well, but in terms of just wanting to have that mentality, they wanted to run the ball down our throat. And so we understood that we were going to have to commit guys to the line of scrimmage. We felt like, we were going to need to have some opportunities to win on the edge and sort of create some negative plays to get them behind the chains. And that's what we were able to do. We found ourselves getting off the field like in the first half. But I think when they went in at halftime, they had a plan coming back out.
Yeah.
They knew we were pursuing to the football. We were populating. We were getting hatched to the ball. And so now let's look at a little misdirection to see if we can slow these guys down.
A couple of highlights I want to talk about in the first half. One was DeMonte Smith's interception.
Right.
Right near the end of the first half. They had it 1st and 10 at the 20, and they tried to go with a little inside screen. The ball kind of ricocheted off, and DeMonte had really good reflexes right there,
right.
and was able to get the ball. And had he gotten turned around correctly, he might have been able to bring it back, but he still did a good job protecting the football and putting it in the hands of the offense.
Well, I tell you what, that's DeMonte actually being in the film room. I mean, they ran 4 or 5 middle screens, okay, and he had seen those things on tape. He said that he felt the guard try to climb. So when he felt the guard climb, he just slipped in the guard's, hip pocket, turned around, okay, and the running back was right there.
Right.
So the running back couldn't quite see the ball. The ball bounces off the running back's hip, and it hits DeMonte in the hands. Sometimes it's not about a blind squirrel finding the nut. Sometimes it's just about seeing the key and tendency and being Johnny on the spot, and he happened to be Johnny on the spot.
That's right, and the educated squirrel was in the right place that time.
Yes, he
was. And that gave the offense an opportunity down close, and Nick Vattiato hit Hunter Tipton, who, the more I watch him play, the more I say, man, this could be another Holden Willis type guy. And to have that hybrid tight end type position.
Yeah, like Hunter Tipton, Tavion Galloway, those guys are long, athletic tight ends, right? The thing about Hunter, though, a lot of people don't give him credit. I mean, he's a much bigger version of Holden. He's about 1.5 inches taller and about another 30 pounds heavier. So when you look at him, he's 247, 251, somewhere around there. But athletically, he's a matchup problem, or can be a matchup problem. And for a quarterback, if you can find somebody who can open up the middle of the field for you, it allows those one-on-one opportunities down the field that you've seen from Najee, but we hope to get going with Amarian, A.J. Jones, and some of these other guys, in our lineup. We got to get those guys going.
Do you like having a good pass-catching tight end as part of your offense? Is that one of those things that you as a head coach likes?
I love a pass-catching tight end.
Yeah.
I love a pass-catching tight end, but we needed an inline tight end to help with some of the protection, chipping, in D-gap, C-gap runs, as well as the ability to open up the middle of the field. And I think, getting Hunter Tipton, somebody out of the transfer portal who's got a pronounced skill set in the run game and the pass game, is going to help this team as we progress forward.
Yep. And you talk about those guys on the outside. Najee Cox has already made a couple of statements. Miles Butler, Amorian Walker, we saw him get his hands on a couple of footballs the other day. Cam Lacey, also A.J. Jones. There's some meat on the bone there for those outside guys to really make a statement. And as Nick said before the season, somebody asked him, who's going to be your go-to guy? He goes, I'm going to who's open.
Right. Right, and so far it's been Najee, right?
Yep.
Najee 6'3.5". Then you've got, A.J. Jones at 6'4". Then you've got Marion Walker at 6'4.5". So when you look at, it's sort of like a basketball team, out there. And then you put Miles in the slot, at 6'2.5", 212 pounds. You've got some height, okay, man. You've got some guys, and we saw those guys get big in the game, right? We're going to take more downfield shots. We have to become a more vertically, sort of thought processing team.
But you got to have time to do that.
You got to have time to do it. But I do believe this, man. There's ways to do it. Yeah. Play action, utilizing the tight end in the chip game, and then being able to make sure that we can create some solo one-on-ones. Because, again, when the tight end can occupy the middle of the field, well, then it makes it hard for you to play, like cover 2 or bracket coverage. So I think as we move into this, we're going to start seeing the ability to push it downfield. But we got to get Cam Lacey involved.
Yes,
you mentioned his name, but he had a heck of a camp, and that function of our offense is critical for us to be successful.
Yeah, Raiders were down 14-10 at the half and had a couple of great opportunities in the second half, but the game kind of turned. We'll talk to Coach about that and kind of wrap up the Wisconsin game after in our next segment. Right now, we'll step aside. More from the Boulevard here on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Junior.
Yep.
Lady?
Yeah, they have it.
Gigantic.
You know it.
What about mega?
Yep, they've got that one too. When it comes to Jumbo Bucks, winning is the name of the game. In fact, Tennessee lottery players win an average of $2.3 million a day on Jumbo Bucks games alone. So find your jumbo-sized fun today. The Tennessee Lottery, game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Jumbo Jumbo?
Oh yeah, they even have that one.
Hey fans, MTSU head coach Derek Mason here. Ascend Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, and they have a checking account that will help you grow your money smarter than ever before.
A high-yield checking account from Ascend earns an annual percentage yield of 3.56%. Plus, you can show off your Blue Raider spirit with an MTSU-branded debit card. Visit ascend.org to open your account today. Some restrictions apply. Rates are subject to change at any time.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
Junior.
Yep.
Lady?
Yeah, they have it.
Gigantic.
You know it.
What about mega?
Yep, they've got that one too. When it comes to Jumbo Bucks, winning is the name of the game. In fact, Tennessee lottery players win an average of $2.3 million a day on Jumbo Bucks games alone. So find your jumbo-sized fun today. The Tennessee Lottery, game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Jumbo Jumbo?
Oh yeah, they even have that one.
Hey fans, MTSU head coach Derek Mason here. Ascend Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, and they have a checking account that will help you grow your money smarter than ever before.
A high-yield checking account from Ascend earns an annual percentage yield of 3.56%. Plus, you can show off your Blue Raider spirit with an MTSU-branded debit card. Visit ascend.org to open your account today. Some restrictions apply. Rates are subject to change at any time.
93.3 FM. Totally hits. Totally Nashville.
Clear.
With nearly 200 majors and concentrations for undergrads and more than 100 graduate programs, Middle Tennessee State University has something for everybody, including more than 50 online degrees. Do you want high-quality, affordable education? Not too late to apply. Learn more at mtsu.edu/how to apply. Coach, we had several questions from the audience, a couple in particular about the Wisconsin game. We'll get to the others in a segment in just a little bit. Those that were in particular were, number one, was the first down review a Wisconsin coach's challenge, or did that come from the booth? Because since it was already called a first down on the field.
It came from the booth, right? Which I find almost ridiculous, right? I mean, it's their call on the field, right? And I didn't believe, okay, that play for them was something that needed to. The game wasn't on the line, even though it wasn't on the line in that case. I don't know why they actually reviewed that, but they did. So Big Ten, little home cooking. Opportunity for them to take a chance and see. But even on the review, I just don't know how you overturned it, because
right.
you couldn't see anything from. I mean, we looked on the iPad, we looked at the two views that we had, and we just couldn't see anything.
Yeah, understand. We've already talked about the where the on the flag on the intentional grounding. We'll move past that.
Yeah.
On the fourth and less than a yard, were you planning on running up the middle, and if so, give me your thoughts on short yardage, quarterback under center versus quarterback out of the shotgun.
Right. Look, I like the call that we had. The difference with that call was that we locked it, okay, which means that the quarterback didn't have the option to run. He really needed the option to run, because when you looked at where we were, okay, man, you were going to have one or two things. You were going to either have the play, or the quarterback could read the end, and the end crashed down. We blocked out. There was a hole about, 5 feet wide, and the safety sitting at 12 yards. Nick would have easily picked up that first down, but we locked it. And it wound up being a locked run versus a Q read. You wanted both of the options. You wanted him to be able to read the end and either give it because there was a defender sliding back in the box, or have the opportunity to take it off the edge, and it would have fallen off the edge. Nick would have been able to a moonwalk, okay, for a first down if he wanted to. But again, I think for us, they looked at the scouted looks defensively. They had a pretty good idea what we were going to get, and you know what? In that locking it, we wound up guessing wrong. So if you ask me, under center versus gun, I'm more of an under center guy.
Yeah.
But really, at the end of the day,
in today's college football world,
yeah.
it's out of the gun.
Well, it's out of the gun, and what defensive guys say a lot of times is this, right? Okay, you never like the opportunity for your offense to have to go, 4 yards or 5 yards to get one. Right?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, that's a mentality at times, but I think. Given certain situations, if you can open it up and sort of spread the look and sort of get those guys to move, you're generally trying to get a guy out of a gap. And we were actually pushing the football. We had good runs in this ball game, so I don't second guess it at all. We all wish it would have went our way.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And in speaking of that, while I'm an old school guy, I love the quarterback being under center, that kind of thing. I'm a huge fan of the pistol set and the running back getting downhill. Out of the shotgun set. So, and we may see a lot of that this week, because it all started in Reno, Nevada.
Yeah, it did.
And Coach Alt will probably be there this weekend. A couple of other quick things. Number one, we saw our first glimpse of Stanley Anderson at quarterback, and from my understanding, that was going to be part of the plan to get him a couple of series this weekend. What is your plan for him right now?
You know what? I think both Stan and Roman have had opportunities to actually, be in the ball game. Look, either one of those guys are one play away from playing, right? And so to be able to get a small sample size of what both of those guys can do, and then coach on that, hey, look, practices have to be sped up. Okay, I mean, you have to speed up your mechanics, you have to speed up your process, you have to be able to make decisions, and you don't get all day to stand in the pocket. And both of these guys have had opportunities to stand in there and take a look at rush and see what happens. So I think, like, for both of these guys, the ability to practice at a higher speed so that game day performance can actually show up for them when needed, because I don't know when they're going to get a chance. Probably, like with Nick's probably not going to give him a chance. Unless there's a true opportunity. But what we will say is that both of those guys now have a small sample size to look at and learn from.
Yep, and there is a difference in getting that sample size in a real game as opposed to practice. And although practice is incredibly valuable,
yes,
there's nothing like being in a game.
There's nothing like being in a game because, again, it gets sped up on you. Okay, the snap comes faster, the rush comes faster, your cadence is fast, everything happens.
Your breathing gets faster.
Definitely your breathing gets faster. And really, that's part of the game that I think those guys are going to mature into. Right now, like I said, they both have a small sample size of what football is at the collegiate level.
All right, it's halftime here at Derek Mason Live. We're going to step aside at the Boulevard. More to come after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
MTSU's College of Education prepares teachers, leaders, counselors, and librarians to be difference makers in schools and communities. Faculty and staff are committed to helping students be the best professionals they can be so they can engage in the very important work of supporting children, families, and adults in Tennessee and beyond. Offering an array of bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degree programs, MTSU's College of Education has a program that's right for you as you strive to become a difference maker in your community.
Roscoe Brown's proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. For over 85 years, Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance are the leading experts in sports medicine and performance, and the team physicians for NFL, college, and high school athletes across Tennessee. TOA offers same-day appointments, walk-ins, and urgent care for acute orthopedic injuries that can't wait. TOA is proud to be the team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics. Having a specialized care team you trust can make all the difference in your athletic journey. To find a TOA location near you, visit TOA.com.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 155,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing, update your information, and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
93.3 FM. Totally hits. Totally Nashville.
You're clear.
Welcome back into the Boulevard tonight on this Monday, week 3 of the college football season. Middle Tennessee travels to Nevada for a 4 o'clock Central Time kickoff on Saturday. We'll be on the air at 2:30 with our tailgate show and Inside Blue Raider Football and countdown to kickoff before it all gets underway at McKay Stadium in Reno, Nevada. or Nevada. I've got to get it right. It's Nevada. And joining us, our special guest tonight is defensive end and outside linebacker coach Josh Smith.
Yes, sir. Appreciate
Hometown proud from right here in Murfreesboro, Oakland High grad and Vanderbilt, former Vanderbilt player, and still looks like you could absolutely put on the uniform and go.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I would love to get back out there with the guys.
Well, talk a little bit about where I thought the defense, I was telling Coach that this past week, after the first series on either side, on both sides of the ball, you could tell a huge difference in how Middle was going to play on Saturday. And talk about the week that you guys had and the wounds that you had to lick coming out of the Austin Peay game to get ready, for a Big Ten opponent.
No doubt, and you talked about it, right? Like, we had an opportunity coming off of week one to accelerate our growth as a defense, as a team, to really go out and think about and refine our process of how we play football, right? So we focused on, as a team, playing violent, playing with good speed, and unmatched physicality.
Yeah.
So what you saw as us coming out and playing to our identity and what we practiced to throughout the week, just starting the game fast, and playing fast, and then getting our hands on people and making it hard and lining up and playing the football that we know how to play.
Yep. Do you think there was, in week one, a lot of self-imposed pressure? It's like, okay, we've got a lot of new guys here. We want to come out and try to prove this, and then just things didn't go right.
I think there's always pressure when you go to week one. There's always adversity you have to hit. You never know what guys are going to respond and how they're going to respond. So it was a good opportunity for us, for guys to see that, to feel that, to step into that, and to learn from that at the end of it. So.
Yep, and we saw not only after that, Austin Peay went down to Georgia and played pretty well against the Georgia squad. Let's talk about you a little bit, and then we'll kind of move into back into the football side of things. You grew up here in Murfreesboro, went to Oakland High School, and I asked you, I said, how many state championships you win? You may be the only guy, but hey, you were the table setter, right?
Yeah, we tried to set the table for the next guys coming in line, but
you all played a great Maryville team in the Blue Cross Bowl, and it was a tremendous matchup. But talk about your experience at Oakland in a really good program there, and talk about table setting, how that set the table for you for your college career and playing, and now getting into the coaching.
Oh, it was great, and it was a great opportunity for me. So early on in my career at Oakland, we were okay, 5-6, middle of the road team. And then moving on to the latter years of my career, junior, senior year, we won 10, and then went on to win 12, an undefeated season. So what it taught me was how to lose and how to learn from losing, and really take those lessons and apply those, and help me again get back to the process, so that I can, when the opportunity comes, I'm ready for that opportunity. And I think that spoke volume for myself coming out of high school and getting into college and playing at Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Being a freshman and wanting to have the aspirations to play, everyone does that and everyone wants that. But you don't always understand what comes with that. And it's a tough road. And I played 4 years, played as a true freshman, and I took my bumps and bruises. But learning how to develop and how personal development plays into your ability to play on the football field.
You had to make that transition from a very good high school program, which you've got a team full of guys coming from good high school programs again, but it's a different animal when you get to college football. You experienced it as a player. How are you able to help guys going through their own journey to try to make it a little smoother for them?
For me, it's every day stepping into the opportunity to serve these guys, be a tool, be a stepping stone for them. And honestly, just keeping my awareness and keeping my eyes open, watching their demeanors, watch how they walk, and then again, just pouring my passion and energy into them in the moment, and helping them recognize this is the moment, not the past, not the future, but the only thing you can focus on is right now. So let's be the best that we can right now.
And the 5 feet in front of you.
Yeah, no doubt. We're gonna play with some knockback. We're gonna play with some hands. We're gonna play violent and fast. So
yeah, the interior defensive line really kind of set the table on Saturday for Middle to have some success. As we mentioned, held Wisconsin to 22 yards rushing in the first half. The one thing you guys are continuing to do, and you all have the phraseology. I know you want to set an edge And what is it, the three things?
And build a wall, set an edge.
Build a wedge. Yeah, that's right. Build a wall, set an edge, and all of that. So the setting that edge against, guys who, you have a physically imposing, when you're a 6'3", 240, 50-pound defensive end, and you're trying to take on a tight end or a tackle who's pulling, coming at you like Wisconsin did, you learn about your manhood real quick.
No doubt. And it's about us, right?
Yeah.
Like I tell our guys, it's about what we do, right? It's about how we do things here at MTSU, right? We're going to be attacking. We're not going to give the opponent an opportunity, a chance. We're going to back them in the corner with the way that we play, speed, physicality, and violence-wise, right? They're going to know the style of football we're going to play, and that's going to allow them to play fast and confident and understand at the end of the day, man, you have the tools that are ready for you to go execute and go win. So use that.
How important is it for a defensive player to be able to play and not have to think about it?
Super. Right?
You got to think about it when the call comes in, but then when the actual play happens, you've got to be able to just react.
No doubt. We talk about it on defense. You can't think your way through it.
Yeah.
Right. You have to understand, and the preparation builds confidence. So throughout the week, you have to put yourself in those situations in practice and play fast in practice in order to play fast on Saturday. And once you do that, you walk with a level of confidence where you know it's unshakable. Like I have full belief and conviction in that my process, my preparation has led to success, and I'm ready for the moment.
Well, let's talk about some of the guys that you work with on the defense. In particular, I'm looking at Anthony Bynum, Reggie Johnson, Aiden Butts. These guys are names. Reggie Johnson, we called his name, it seemed like 10 times in the opening week. Anthony Bynum, returning guy who can slog it out week in, week out. And Aiden Butts, a young guy who really came on at the end of last year and can't wait to see the big things he's going to do.
No doubt. And like you mentioned, we have a young but experienced room. Right?
Yeah.
In the front, we got a lot of guys back from last year, and that's been great for the growth of the room. Young guys become old guys, right? And then they're able to impart their knowledge and wisdom onto other young guys, and then we're able to play faster as a unit. We're able to have more coaches on the field. So when they come to the sideline, they're giving us valuable tips, information, and they're also, the young guys are attentive and listening for those things. So what you see is 1 to 2 to 3 from the top of the roster to the bottom of the roster, guys are playing fast.
Now, do you handle Brandon Buckner and Matthias as well, those outside linebackers?
Those are my guys, yes, sir.
So you have those as well. And in the way that middle plays, how much difference is there really between a defensive end and an outside linebacker?
There's a lot of crossover, and there's a little bit of difference, but really, when you look at it, they're kind of a very similar position. Our ends will be some of a bigger stature. They'll also play a little bit of 4-eye. Our outside backers will be truly Sams and Wills. So they'll less of a 4-eye technique. They don't have to hang and bang on doubles all the time. So
I was talking to your boss, Brian Stewart, about this the other day, and I know he has the take 3 mentality, meaning get 3 takeaways every practice, which you want to convert that into games as well. Where is the line drawn on tackling as opposed and getting a guy on the ground as opposed to how long do you try to strip that ball as opposed to getting him on the ground? That's a technique you guys have to teach, and to me it's one of those things that has evolved over years. Mm-hmm. I remember, I think when my days in college, it was all about getting the guy on the ground. Today, everybody wants to get takeaways, knock the ball out, strip it, do those kind of things. But to be able to have both of those skills and to be able to do it, that's an interesting thing to have to teach.
No doubt, and it comes down, like you said, to our teaching progression.
Yeah.
So the way that we're teaching it on our side of the ball is that the first man in secures the tackle.
Yep. So, this is exactly what Brian told me. You were listening that day, so go ahead.
It's something that we teach, man. It's something that we believe. It's something that we go throughout the process and talk about is the first guy in, always get the guy. Right?
Get the guy on the ground.
You secure the tackle. The second man in, the third man in, now you're getting the ball. That's our opportunity for ball disruption. So it comes down to, one, tracking and tackling, the track and hit portion of it, right? Then we have to build a wall, set an edge. That's going to allow the pursuit to come inside out, and then you get more hats around the football, and now that it gives you a lot more attempts at the ball to take 3. And that's our goal.
You want to be a head football coach one day?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, on the college level.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I can see that you've got all the tools, and I know you're looking forward to that. Give us a scouting report on what we'll see this week with Nevada, because as Coach and I alluded to, the pistol offense was invented by Chris Ault, who was the longtime head coach at Nevada. They had great success, and we run it. We run some of it. Everybody runs a little bit of it these days because it's the one way you can really run the ball out of the shotgun. And so how do you defend that?
So defending it is really going to be about their offensive scheme is to maintain possession of the football.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to have some pistol sets. Going to make it hard to get locations of the back. But their offense runs through their quarterback. So our job as a defense is to be able to make the job hard on the quarterback this week. Right? Give him some different looks. Give him some pressure. Right? Allow him to think and make him think. Again, like we talked about earlier, those who have to think through the game of football, it makes it harder. So that's our responsibility this week as a defense, to play sound, solid football for 4 quarters. Right? And then, again, match and exceed our speed, violence, physicality, and strain from last week.
The best days are yet to come on this football team, correct?
No doubt. Every week we're going to be better. Every day we're going to be better.
This Saturday will be a good day to have a good day.
Yes, sir. Always.
All right, Josh, thanks so much.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Anytime.
All right, Josh Smith, everybody, Murfreesboro's own, and on the Blue Raider coaching staff. We'll step aside. Coach Derek Mason rejoins me after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
MTSU's College of Education prepares teachers, leaders, counselors, and librarians to be difference makers in schools and communities. Faculty and staff are committed to helping students be the best professionals they can be so they can engage in the very important work of supporting children, families, and adults in Tennessee and beyond. Offering an array of bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degree programs, MTSU's College of Education has a program that's right for you as you strive to become a difference maker in your community.
Roscoe Brown's proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. For over 85 years, Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance are the leading experts in sports medicine and performance, and the team physicians for NFL, college, and high school athletes across Tennessee. TOA offers same-day appointments, walk-ins, and urgent care for acute orthopedic injuries that can't wait. TOA is proud to be the team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics. Having a specialized care team you trust can make all the difference in your athletic journey. To find a TOA location near you, visit TOA.com.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 155,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing, update your information, and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance are the leading experts in sports medicine and performance, and the team physicians for NFL, college, and high school athletes across Tennessee. TOA offers same-day appointments, walk-ins, and urgent care for acute orthopedic injuries that can't wait. TOA is proud to be the team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics. Having a specialized care team you trust can make all the difference in your athletic journey. To find a TOA location near you, visit TOA.com.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
93.3 FM. Totally hits. Totally Nashville.
You're clear.
It's Derek Mason live on this Monday night from the Boulevard. Glad to have you all with us. Nice Monday night crowd. Lady Raider basketball team is back here with us tonight. Glad to have them with us. Coach, I wore my my Blue Raider baseball Steve and Denise Smith cap tonight in memory of Miss Denise, who we laid to rest on Saturday. I know in your period of time here, you've gotten to know the Smith family even more and more, and what they have done for our program. And and I'm so glad that Denise was alive when the building opened up, the Steve and Denise Smith Student Athlete Performance Center. But what a wonderful, wonderful lady, and we know she is in a better place.
Well, I want to say, our thoughts and prayers go out, to the Smith family. Having had a chance to meet, their children, their family members, what you know is how special not only were they to MTSU, but just, like the family bond and how they really, stood as pillars of the MTSU community. So I want to say, again, our thoughts and prayers are with Steve right now and his family during this time of bereavement.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I didn't want tonight to get by without making a mention of one of the all-time great ladies, Denise Smith. All right, we've got a couple of questions from the audience. One is, are our troubles defending the pass related to personnel, or are other teams' play callers diagnosing the coverage?
Well, it's been, if I'm being completely honest, and right now, it's had a little more to do with just personnel changes, like on the back end. I think, when you talk about reps and you talk about things that you see, it's about experience, and it's about being able to have the opportunity to get those reps, see those looks, and then, trust what you know. I think play callers in both games have done a good job of being able to test our rules, and I think that's what you're really seeing. I mean, you're seeing some testing of the rules, some play action shots, just taking advantage of some of the misdirection, opportunities. So some of it is play calling, but I think some of the woes in the secondary have more to do with just the carousel guys we've had to play and the lack of experience in that group. But we got some help on the way, and guys will be coming back soon. But, like, right now, I'm glad that some of these young guys are getting that experience, because young guys become old guys. A year ago, we were talking about some of the stuff on the D-line.
That's exactly right.
So I think, guys getting experience only makes us better, when those guys get called on again.
You talked about testing your rules, and we talked in the first about the two misdirection plays. You know what that amounted to? 99 yards.
Yeah.
99 yards and 14 points that changed the game from a 4-point game to an 18-point game in a matter of a very short time.
Right.
Okay, here's one that I know you have got this covered. Said, Coach, who is the team DJ on road trips, and do you ever veto the playlist?
Yeah, I veto the playlist all the time, right? And it goes through our leadership council. It's about 12 guys. None of them seem to have good taste in music, so what I do is I'll take a team survey and let the guys by a show of hands say yay or nay, and most of the time it's a yay from those guys. But then sometimes I just got to say, nah, I'm just not going to listen to what they're playing nowadays. But you know what? It's fun. It's all over the place. We'll have a little R&B, a little hip hop, a little country. I think the group has eclectic taste. It's just not my taste. And I've even heard some K-pop in there, so I think we gotta keep this thing moving a little bit. K-pop?
Do I need to bring my Sony Walkman and bring a CD that I might have burned a few years ago?
You know what? I'm thinking about throwing up some 8-tracks and see if these guys, truly understand what's still going on.
Hey, I've got my 8-track case.
Yeah.
From my car is in my garage, and it still has all the 8 tracks in it. I'll have to show you one day. Big news out of the NCAA this week, over the weekend. The NCAA Oversight Committee is recommending one portal window, which would come in the first week or 2 weeks of January, and for about 8 or 9 days. Yeah. What are your thoughts? How and really, when it comes down to it, how would that affect middle?
Chip, me and you, we had this conversation earlier a little bit. The question was asked in the weekly presser. One portal window is probably the best that coaches could hope for, okay, in this time. I think shrinking it down to one portal window during that time period where it's after the bowl season, okay, man, you guys actually get a chance to, see their worth, figure out, right fit, right place, right opportunity. But one portal window is something that I think coaches and players are gonna be happy about, because you don't want to go through spring and open this thing up again and find yourself in a place where there's this onslaught of recruiting that's happening during times where you're trying to build your program. So with that being said, extremely excited about what's happening, because I think they're starting to listen. Everybody's starting to listen about how this has affected, college football and what we do in college football with programs.
All right, we're going to step aside. Final break, final segment with Coach Mason coming up after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
MTSU's College of Education prepares teachers, leaders, counselors, and librarians to be difference makers in schools and communities. Faculty and staff are committed to helping students be the best professionals they can be so they can engage in the very important work of supporting children, families, and adults in Tennessee and beyond. Offering an array of bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degree programs, MTSU's College of Education has a program that's right for you as you strive to become a difference maker in your community.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance are the leading experts in sports medicine and performance, and the team physicians for NFL, college, and high school athletes across Tennessee. TOA offers same-day appointments.
Yes, sir.
And urgent care.
Gotcha.
Orthopedic injuries that can't wait. TOA is proud to be the team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics. Having a specialized care team you trust can make all the difference in your athletic journey. To find a TOA location near you, visit TOA.com.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
93.3 FM. Totally hits. Totally Nashville.
You're clear.
Final segment brought to you by Bud Light, sponsor of Middle Tennessee State University Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light. Long road trip coming up. You've got a Nevada team. They're 1-1. They've got a quarterback, Chubba Purdy, Brock Purdy's brother, and a coach that you're very familiar with.
Right. Good quarterback, dual threat quarterback, can throw it well, runs well. Has averaged over 100 yards rushing, in his first two games. So we're going to have our hands full. We got to cage the rabbit. We got to keep him contained in the pocket, and we also have to go at this group too. So it's a matter of being able to score points offensively, get off the field defensively, because he will be a problem on third down. He's one of those guys when he breaks the pocket. He broke it versus Penn State a couple of times. And you saw him last week versus Sac State. He can really go. So it is about, playing good defense, offensively scoring points. But really, we need some game-changing special teams. That's got to be a part.